A month ago, if you wanted to charter a very large crude carrier, a super tanker, it would cost you about $25,000 to $28,000 per day. Today, it's over $105,000. $28,000 to $105,000. These are rough numbers based on various brokers I've talked to because of sanctions on Costco, a major Chinese shipping company. Randy, I mean, is that sustainable?
Yes, certainly over the last 18 months, the crude tanker market has seen the greatest comeback since Lazarus came forth, right? So there has been
Phoenix rising.
Yeah, incredible supply-demand fundamentals. Like you mentioned, the U.S.-China sanctions, the sanctions on some of the China Costco ships. You've had now Unipec and Exxon.
Which is the biggest fleet in the world, by the way.
Exactly.
So effectively, I guess the metaphor would be, if FedEx or UPS suddenly stopped, you couldn't ship with them.
For sure.
Everyone else is just going to jack their rates up massively.
And then now you have Unipec and Exxon saying we're not going to touch any vessel that has done any activity with Venezuela. So same thing, your analogy. Amazon saying we're not going to use FedEx, right? So you have these supply fundamentals plus some vessels coming offline for scrubber retrofits, which is an IMO 2020 play on fuel regulation. On the demand side, you have rising inventories in Asia and India, and they're sourcing them from longer distances. Brazil, the U.S. is surging exports, the North Sea. Plus, you have all this IMO slate switching. The light, sweet barrels going to the simple refineries, the heavy, sour ones going to the complex. So there's an array of factors leading to this supply demand.
Is that going to result in people simply not taking delivery of oil? I mean, if you're Exxon or Chevron or Shell or BP and you've got to buy a load of oil, $28,000 a day to $105,000 a day. By the way, you're at sea for 20 to 60 days. Yeah. So multiply that 105. So do you just stop buying oil?
Yeah, and the 105,000 a day is a little stale. We've seen fixtures at $300,000.
Wait a minute, hold on. You're literally breaking news on the air right now.
$300,000 a day on Friday.
You've seen crude oil tankers be chartered for $300,000 a day that were $28,000 a day a month ago.
Yep, down in Houston, Hong Kong, Spirit was the name of the vessel.
There's no way they can make money on that. There's no way they could. They got to be selling at a loss.
No, listen to what's happening. So historically, Brent was maybe $80, and at $25,000 a day to ship it, the cost was maybe $4 million. So that's $2 a barrel on a 2 million barrel VLCC, right? So that's 3% of the cargo. Now, current cargo is worth around $120 million, $6 a barrel, 2 million barrels. And the shipping has gone up to maybe $14 million. Huge numbers, right? That's only $7 a barrel. So if you take the $55 plus $7 a barrel to ship it, that's $62. Now, if you're an importing nation trying to build your inventories, are you going to wait and say, let's get shipping rates down to $5 a barrel?
So you're willing to spend a little more than it's worth because you have to.
If WTI goes to 60 next month or next quarter.
You're okay. You're not too terrible.
Now you're paying 60 plus 5 instead of 55 plus 7.
Now, these stocks, and I want to be careful because some of these stocks we have a 500 million minimum market cap. We normally don't talk about on CNBC, but I think we can make an exception on this. You got Nordic American Tankers, you got TK. Certainly some of their market caps have now come above that.
Yeah.
But the stocks of Nordic American doubled.
Sure.
Doubled in 30 days.
Got a little ahead of its skis.
You think so?
We like the larger ones, like you said, with a lot of fleet size, with a lot of market cap.
Name names.
Euronav, ticker EURN, the largest crude tanker fleet in the world. Scorpio Tankers, ticker STNG, the largest products tanker fleet in the world. Now, for a better value play, we like two that have both crude and products tanker exposure. International Seaways, ticker INSW, and Diamond S Shipping, ticker DSSI. All of which are trading, both of those two are trading below net asset value. Great management teams, great balance sheets. So you have a lot of ways to play it. DHT Holdings, ticker DHT. All of these market caps are well above your $500.
They are. Okay, good. You saw me just going furious to my computer. I'm like, what's the market cap?
These things are starting to get a lot more trading liquidity, a lot more interest. I'm here on CNBC. Client interactions are rising. People are starting to take notice.
But
when you see $300,000
a day fair enough. But I feel like, and you forgive me, I'm an old cynical. Get off my lawn, Randy. Yeah. I feel like this is one of those things. It's like this, 1 month, 2 month crazy phenomena.
Fair.
And then it's going to just kind of whatever. What's the long-term prognosis?
Yes, we've seen head fakes in the past, so I understand your skepticism.
Yeah, because these stocks are, some of them thinly traded, the volatility, boom, boom, boom.
Sure. But there's a lot of underlying, those supply-demand fundamentals are intact. The scrubber retrofits are going to take 6 months.
But
IMO 2020.
By the way, so this is a big story, Randy. Folks, it's 5:43 in the morning. This is a big story he's talking about. We're going to, by the way, don't steal my coverage. I'm going to do something on this in early December.
Good. I'll be back.
Where they're changing fuel regulations for shippers. and it's a bigger deal than people think.
But real quick, so why it's not going to go away in a month or two, right? You have this increasing inventories. Inventory levels are still pretty low in Asia, in India. U.S. exports certainly ramping. IMO dislocation, which you'll get to later, certainly causing some, diversity in trade and some disruption there. Plus, now with all of the supply, you're only at a 9% order book to fleet growth, right? Order book to fleet ratio. Historically, that's been 20%. So there has not been much ordering in recent years, so there's not going to be much deliveries in the next few years. If you order a ship today, you see this $300,000 day rate. I want some of that. Well, it's going to take you 18 to 24 months to go build a vessel. So it's not like the supply response can come back immediately.
So it may go on longer
so
than we
you're going to see
think.
this at least through 2020 into maybe 2021.
Big stuff.